Today I want to talk about the logical fallacy known as the hasty generalization. Hasty generalization is a statement made without sufficient evidence to support it. It's made out of a rush to get to a conclusion, and it leads the arguer to commit some sort of illicit assumption, stereotyping, unwarranted conclusion, overstatement, or exaggeration. Some hasty generalizations are easy to spot. Look for key words like always, never, no one, everyone. Everyone knows this. No, I seriously doubt everyone knows that. That 6-month-old probably doesn't know it. And no, not all Trump supporters are white supremacists. I can introduce you to a few African American friends of mine that support Trump. Or Bernie Sanders supporters just want free stuff. They probably want world peace too, or food, or a place to sleep, not to get shot in the face. So avoid terms like always, never, and all of that kind of stuff. Pretty much, if you're putting down a blanket statement, you're wrong, and you're going to run into issues and probably be called a racist or a sexist or something like that. Generalizations are a normal part of language. We do it quite often. We say things like, I like to go to the park, or I like ice cream. And we get the point across that we intend, but you do have to realize that this is a hasty generalization and a logical fallacy. For example, you may like going to the park, but if someone hit you in the head with a baseball bat, tied you up, threw you in the trunk of their car, and took you to the park, you probably wouldn't enjoy it. Or if someone made a dog feces flavored ice cream, you probably wouldn't enjoy that very much. One good way to avoid generalization like that, an overgeneralization, a hasty generalization, would be to use terms like generally or typically, most of the time, often. These words aren't finite, they're not definite, they're not all encompassing, so to speak. And this will help avoid getting into situations where you're being called out. And again, often it's not that big a deal because people understand what you mean. And this depends on what kind of argument you're trying to make. Are you speaking to your buddy about, different kinds of beer, or are you speaking to a neuroscientist and a neurosurgeon, and you're making general statements about the way the human body works, and they're just not accurate at all? The burden of evidence is greater for different areas of arguments. So in conclusion, try to avoid overgeneralizations. Don't use words like always and never, because realistically, always, you don't have access to infinity, just like never. Everyone, you did not get a chance to ask everyone that question, and things like that. Just avoid them in general. If you can tend to avoid them in your day-to-day life with your buddies when you're just BSing around having a good time, it's going to be a lot easier to avoid them when you're trying to have an actual debate with someone and you don't get put on the spot for saying something goofy and coming across like you dislike or think lowly of an entire group of people because you said all or none or anything like that. You could use words like generally, but even then you have to be careful when you're describing people because every individual is different. Don't put all Trump supporters in one basket. Don't put all Biden supporters in one basket. Don't put all anything in one basket. There's a whole thing, the eggs thing, that we've been saying for years. Look, if I helped you understand a little bit, maybe you're going to make an effort to do this. Give me a subscribe or share me out. All that stuff's good. Leave a comment. Any kind of interaction is awesome. I appreciate it. Thanks for checking me out. Stay safe, all.